Okay guys, we're back for our last video this week. We're dealing with exponential functions now. So we're done with quadratic, we're moved on to exponential. An exponential function is a function that repeatedly multiplies an initial amount by the same positive number. Okay, and it's modeled by y equals a times b to the x power, where b is greater than 0, but it cannot equal 1. Okay, so let's work out these together. Okay, so we have y equals 5 to the x power at x equals 5. So we're going to plug in 5 for x. So we have y equals 5 to the 5th power. And this is saying 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. When you multiply all of those together, you should get 3,125. Okay? Please make sure you're at least showing this type of work. Okay, the next one, y equals 7 to the x power at x equals 0. So we have y is equal to 7 to the 0 power. Anytime, this is a rule you must remember, anytime you have a number to the power of 0, your answer is always 1. Okay, anything to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, so there's not much work there for you guys. On to the next one, y equals x to the 4th when x is 3. So this time we have y equals 3 to the 4th power. That's saying 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So we're multiplying 3 4 times. When we do 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, we get 81. So y is equal to 81. Okay? Y is equal to x to the 3rd at x equals 0.5. So we have y is equal to 0.5 to the 3rd power. This is saying 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5. Okay, so y, when I multiply all those together, I get 0.125. Okay? This is pretty easy. You just have to make sure you plug it in correctly, show your work, and circle your answer. Alright, next one. Y equals 5 times 4 to the x power when x is 2. So we have y equals 5 times 4 to the 2nd power. Okay, so we have 5 times 4 times 4, right? Or y equals 5 times 16. So y equals 5 times 16 is 80. So y is equal to 80 on this one. Next one, we have y equals 10 times 2 to the x power when x is 1. So we have y equals 10 times 2 to the 1st power. 2 to the anything to the 1st power is that number. So we have 10 times 2. So 10 times 2 is 20. So y equals 20. Okay, almost done. So we have the next one, y equals 3 times x squared when x equals 5. So we're just going to plug in what we were given. So we have 3 times x is 5, so 5 squared. Okay, we know that 5 squared means 5 times 5. Okay, you can just multiply it all like this, or you know that this would be 3 times 25. So y is equal to 3 times 25 is 75. So y is 75. Last but not least, we have y equals 7 times x to the 0 power at x equals 10. So we're plugging it in. 7 times 10 to the 0 power. Okay? So remember what I told you. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So we have 7 times 1. So y equals 7. Okay? This one's pretty simple. You just need to make sure you plug it in correctly, show your work. Alright? Remember, you can pause the video at any time. You can see the video as many times as you need. And please email me with any questions that you guys have. Alright?